As this pandemic has continued on, I've spent a lot of time thinking about what it's like to grieve in the shadow of the pandemic. And something that I've thought about is that now the entire world is feeling similar feelings to how we as bereaved people feel. The entire world feels exhausted, overwhelmed, confused, angry, sad. Everyone feels that feeling of, I just want to go back to what it was like before. And although it's painful that everyone is suffering like this, I feel like it pulls back the curtain on what grief is like for those of us who are grieving, because those are feelings. We all are feeling the feelings of grief. So I remember saying pretty early on to some of my widow friends that, oh my God, the entire world finally knows what we feel like. And I felt like we were a little bit of experts because I already knew that, oh yeah, it's so hard to concentrate when you're grieving. Whereas my friends who hadn't been through a loss before were struggling being able to concentrate at work. And I could say things like, it's okay, like your brain is processing a really traumatic event and therefore it is hard to concentrate. So I think that is one of a somewhat positive impact of the pandemic is that people now have a greater understanding of what grief feels like and probably can relate a little bit better to what you are going through. It doesn't take away your pain, it doesn't take away your sadness or your anger, but it does pull back the curtain on what we are feeling. And I think it's especially important in this time of isolation while you're grieving to find ways to continue to connect with your supports, whether it be with online therapy or outdoor gatherings with friends or your support group. My kids still see their grief counselors, and both of their therapists have done fantastic jobs at making the therapy interactive and engaging for kids online. And I just think we have to do what we can do to stay connected and continue with the self-care tools that we know help us as we are grieving, but give ourselves self-compassion that we are human beings grieving in the shadow of COVID, and that is extraordinarily difficult. So having self-compassion that you're doing the best you can in an extraordinary circumstance.